doing little murders as opposed to big murders. I, iconic. I'm telling you, iconic stuff. These are phrases that I use to this day. Okay, such good storytelling, y'all. It's just such great storytelling. I love this show. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective. And today, y'all, we are going into the grand watch of P Valley. This is season 1, episode 1, Perpetratin. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I cover books, TV, movies, all kinds of things on this channel. You're gonna love it over here. And because I have been in desperation of good storytelling, and not just any good storytelling, black storytelling. I got tired of watching the Powers and I watched the first installment, but I couldn't get into those spinoffs, y'all. It was you hear one story, he done told them all, okay? I just really needed some good storytelling, some good love stories, just some compelling characters that take your breath away every time you watch them on the screen. Anyway, that's where I was, and in anticipation of the brand new season coming. Child, ain't no telling when it's coming. I don't know, but I'm holding on. The advent of P Valley. Okay, this is in anticipation of their return. Okay, let's get into my thoughts, y'all. So the episode opens up. It looks like it's been disaster. There's a storm. There's either a flood or some sort of hurricane. You see a woman pulling a suitcase out of the water, and she looks disheveled. She looks dirty, dingy, just thrown away. Okay. She finds a suitcase with someone who's named Lakeisha Savage. She takes her information and gets on a bus. We later find out that this was the setting of Hurricane Harvey, I believe, either Hurricane Harvey or Trina. I think it was Harvey. And that affected the Delta and Mississippi and parts of Texas and Louisiana. She is then gets off a bus as it takes a stop, and she heads down to Chucalissa, okay? Chucalissa, Mississippi, okay? And Chucalissa is it is not a unique town. It is quite reminiscent of a lot of the towns where I grew up. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida. So a lot of parts of my city on the north side, the west side, especially out east, it's dilapidated. There are more check cashing stores and more liquor stores than you can count, more churches than you can throw a rock at. Okay, yeah, so Chucalissa is not unique. So we see her walking towards this building called the Pynk. Now it's called Pynk, so it's pronounced the Pynk. Okay, and there's a line wrapped around the corner. So she's trying to get in. Men are charged $20, women are charged 30. She can't afford to get in. She's trying to flirt with the front doorman who is fine. Okay, fine. He was like, girl, get your behind on. We don't have time for this. So we see her go down and see the amateur battle, and she decides that she is going to participate in the amateur battle for $50 in a hot plate. All right. Now, as all of this is going on outside, the girls on the inside, we find out Mercedes, Gidget, the white girl, and Mississippi are working there, and Mississippi just got off the stage. She ended up getting a cut on her face because of somebody throwing a bottle. Now, what they allude to is the bruises on her neck, and that she's been involved, or she is involved in some sort of DV situation. And so we are kind of getting like the backstory behind all the girls. And this is where I realized that, like, the switch, like, okay, so y'all let walk with me. All right, so I first initially on the first episode, because towards the end of the show we started hating Autumn Night, right? We started hating Haley, couldn't stand that bit, ready for her to go. But I think it was a little bit of a paradigm shift. But initially, I was looking at Mercedes as the villain. That's kind of one thing that I did not think about until now. So Mercedes, very domineering. You can tell she's the oldest one there, but she really still didn't give Ronnie from, y'all remember Players Club, because that's also another movie that I absolutely love. She didn't give Ronnie from Players Club, like she didn't give Head be in charge, right? Now, I think as we watch the show a little bit further and the episode progresses, we do see a little bit more of Head be in charge, right? HBIC. But I don't think in the initial introduction to Mercedes' character that we got that she was the HBIC. Okay. And with that being said, I think my disdain towards the person who I thought that I was gonna not want to fool with was actually Mercedes, because we see the jealousy in Mercedes. We see her being very domineering, having an attitude. We later learn, figure out why. But I think in this first episode, we like, what the hell? What lizard crawled up her ass and got her all up in a stank steezy way? Well, like, what's going on with you, sis? Smile, you're on candid camera. You know what I mean? So Autumn Night walks in, or hey, yeah, light skinned girl walks in. Autumn Night. We later find out her name is Autumn Night, and we are introduced to Uncle Clifford. Now, Uncle Clifford is my most favorite character on the show. He is that's my boo. We ride. Uncle Clifford is my uncle. I'm his niece. Okay, I am his niece. That's my uncle. That's my uncle. Okay. And so we're introduced to Uncle Clifford, and he pretty much is the mainstay around these parts. He owns the building, he owns the club, he makes the rules, and everyone is loyal to Uncle Clifford. Honestly, Uncle Clifford is the HBIC if we really want to get into it. And I think that Mercedes is more of a best friend to Clifford, but Uncle Clifford really is the HBIC. So they have the booty battle, and automatically off top, all the girls are looking at Autumn Night like, what the hell you gonna do, right? And in this booty battle, she don't do nothing but just, doing all this. And it's like, girl, please. Like, she asked for a job at the Pynk and she ends up getting it. They kind of clown her a little bit, like, girl, this ain't Walmart. Like, relax. You don't gotta fill out no application or take no drug test, or call no references, girl. All right. It's nothing like that. And I think in this moment, I feel like Autumn Night was perpetrating a little bit, and outside of the norm. Okay, so obviously she done stole somebody's identification, right? She's walking around with these Louboutin shoes on that she found in a suitcase. But I think as we see further in the season, Autumn Night is a lot more powerful than we actually think that she is. Because in this first episode, I feel like she was kind of giving timid boots, right? She was giving very timid. She was giving very much, I don't know about that, right? But as we see in the season, she really is a lot smarter, and a lot more what do you call it, shrewd than the way that she's pretending to be right here on this, in front of us right now. We also learn about Mississippi. Mississippi's name is Keyshawn. She is also another dancer on the show. I think the dichotomy, now here's the thing. When I see Mississippi dance versus when I see Mercedes dance, I think it fits their personality, because Mississippi is very dainty. Mississippi is almost whimsical, and Mercedes is very in your face. It's a lot of physicality. There's a lot of athleticism, and almost, I don't want, almost like flamboyant, like, right? But dance and the way they introduce them as dancers, it complements their personalities. And I don't think I really noticed that either. I don't think I really noticed that either. Mercedes is planning to retire, and Uncle Clifford is like, well, what the hell I'm gonna do, because you do Mercedes Sundays, who's gonna take your place? And that's part of the reason why Autumn was able to get the job that she got, right? Because Mercedes is supposed to be leaving. we see Mercedes at a church with a woman at the front of the Patrice Woodbine at the front of the church singing and basically saying, "We need your 10%." Right. You know, just she is also another one that's perpetrating, as we see further on in the story. I think the relationship between Mercedes Woodbine, between Patrice and Mercedes is such a toxic, manipulative relationship. And the lady, it's just like it didn't even have to be that way. It really didn't even have to be that way. You can tell that Patrice is trying to dangle her love and affection in front of Mercedes' face so that she can get what she can out of Mercedes, which is money. And then once she gets it, she turns around and shames her daughter for the life that the life that she is living. Say that I think that this show has completely revolutionized the way that I look at sex work and the way that I look at sex workers in itself. And I think that it's helped me realize that all work, no matter what it is, you're using your body. Okay. You're giving your body away for someone for some sort of commodity, whether you are working at a desk or you're working in a construction site or you're a cashier or whatever it could be. You're on the football field. Your body is a commodity, and all of us are using our body one way or another. Okay? We see someone taking pictures of the Pynk, and it gets a little mysterious because you're like, okay, now who the hell is that? We find out later on that his name is Andre, and he's taking pictures for the owner of or one of his clients, right? That's interested in the property, and he's taking pictures of the property so that they can see the activity that's happening during the day and at night. He is also perpetrating as well. He is not telling the full story of why he really is there at the Pynk, but we later on find out what that reasoning is in the season later on. Autumn Night goes outside, and I'm kind of jumping around. I'm trying to stick to each character so we talk about it and get it over with. Autumn Night eventually meets him outside and sees that he's taking pictures and confronts him, and he shows her the pictures that he really isn't some stalker creepy person, but he still doesn't tell her the full story of what's going on. And you see a little bit of a love connection there. I wasn't impressed when I saw them because listen, the love stories on this show, the people that you go up for, the love stories that you go up for, the ones that you're like, yes, I want to see it. It wasn't them. It was not those two. It was not those two. We do find out that Mercedes is also training some young girls that do a dance troupe. So she's kind of like the dancing dolls instructor. So she's that girl, right? This is where we find out that her raggedy trifling ass mama is basically extorting her for money and using her for what she can, while also while simultaneously shaming her for what she does, okay, and manipulating her for what she does. So they have the Pynk meeting, the staff meeting. This is where everybody is meeting, and Uncle Clifford goes and tells them about the increase in prices. My bad, y'all. The increase in prices, the increase in making sure that you give everybody a cut. So in strip club culture, again, I've never been to a strip club before, and I don't know if I have a desire to go. I think watching P Valley is the best that I'll get, or the closest I'll get. But with the dancers, because they're the attention drawers, right? They bring in the money, but they also have to split it with the girls at the bar, the DJ, and things like that. There's a percentage of their cut that they also get out as well, because the girls are the ones that are the draw. And so Uncle Clifford is saying, before you even get up on and dance, you need to be paying a certain amount of money to the girls that are serving drinks and the DJ and the girls that are out working the floor, etc. So this is probably one of the most iconic moments for me. So Keyshawn, aka Mercedes, Mississippi, comes in late. She comes in with the baby, and everybody looking like, girl, this is no place for no baby. This is before the Pynk opens up. This is a Sunday night. Keyshawn comes in. She has this big bruise on her eye, and she says, "Yeah, tell y'all." And everyone's looking like, "Girl, the fuck? Okay, girl. Right. Really? Okay, girl." This is probably one of the most iconic moments. I've watched this part in itself probably 6 or 7 times. This is where Clifford is applying Dermabond. Is it Derma? I think it's Dermabond. It's like this heavy duty concealer that covers up all kinds of stuff. And he's talking to her and saying to her that her face is her strength, her face is her power. And he doesn't understand why she allows this man to try to destroy her bag in the way that he does. Her means of making money is through her appearance, and the very first thing that you do is go for her face. You are personally trying to destroy her. Not only do you want her to be destroyed, but you want her completely and totally dependent on you, because if she's too beat up to even look pretty, then she's going to completely have to rely on you. I said that is some diabolical, devious mess. And when we find out who it is, I said, girl, 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 girl. Okay. So opening night at the Pynk, right? Opening night at the Pynk. Everybody down there, child. Everybody right round there, down to the Pynk. Okay. Baby, it's a line around the corner. It's right in their mama trying to get up in that mug. Okay. It's the spot. It is the spot. So we see a rented Hummer pull up, okay? And we see a dude come out with this cash necklace, right? The best the mall kiosk could ever produce. And he is with all his homies and friends and whatnot. And he has a friend that is starting to pour tea on some floral bricks to put into the fake Louis bag so they can make it look like he's got more bricks than how many bricks he actually has, right? And he walks up to this girl and was like, "Hey, queen. Hey, slay queen. Slay." And I was just like, "Hey, queen. Hey, slay queen. Slay queen. Are you straight? You straight?" Anyway, so we see him coming in perpetrating. Okay. He's also a victim of perpetrating. And he goes into VIP room and he's got all his little friends with him, and they don't even have champagne. They got sparkling wine. Okay. Sparkling wine or sparkling water. And he calls Mercedes over, says he got a couple of bricks of some coochie coupons. He trying to spend it, right? And he talks Mercedes into going to the private room with him. His angle is to have Mercedes listen to his music, which is complete slaw. Okay. She said, "My nigga, are you rapping in cursive?" I said, "Oh God, this is so fun." I forgot about that. Forgot about that. That line actually was very iconic. And I remember seeing people using that on Twitter from that day forth. Okay. I don't know who told Murder that music was cute, but it really was not. It really was not. So as that's going on, we get a glimpse of Keyshawn in the back. He is breastfeeding her baby, and Diamond, who is the front door security guy, who just so happens to pop up every time these girls need some help or need some muscle. He's always popping up and popping around. He's always somewhere around. Okay. Diamond walks in and he's looking at Keyshawn um gingerly, right? Just with admiration. You just see the adoration in Diamond's face when he looks at Keyshawn, and you like, "Oh, right." And he sees the bruises and the scars on her neck, and he says, "You want me to handle that for you?" Right? And we all know what he's talking about. And she says, "No, all those bodies that you have on your conscience from being out in the war, I would not want you to put another one on your conscience." He said, "Better." That's it. He says, "Better his than yours." I said, "Oh God. Oh, pitter patter of my heart." Oh, yes, Keyshawn, girl. Later in the season, she lets me down. But in this very moment, I am rooting for Keyshawn. I am rooting for Diamond. I want them to work. As is, we see Autumn Night walking around with Mercedes, trying to get the lay of the land and understand how the floor works, knowing how to eye who broke and who not. And it was kind of funny seeing all these men perpetrating. Autumn pointed out some guy with some Space Jams on, and she was, and the bartender, I couldn't remember her name. She was like, "Yeah, that's 800 on his feet, but not in his pocket." Nah, girl, you got to know who got the money and who don't. Okay, and so as we prepare for Mercedes to come out on stage and do her thing, we see um Autumn Night in the VIP room with one of Lil Murda's friends, and things go left because he's trying to dominate her. He starts to like get physical with her. Diamond comes in, it gets physical. He fighting all of them. It's crazy. Murder's trying to leave out of the VIP room to go apologize to Mercedes and to Autumn Night because she ends up escaping from the room. And he runs into Uncle Clifford. And at first I was like, oh God, I don't need no homophobia. I do not want to watch none of that. I don't have time. Because you see him looking him up and down, right? And I'm like, listen, if you don't like what you see, shut up, move on. So they walk into a quieter room that kind of looks like the Super Mario kind of save the princess part, right? That round where all the clouds are. And you see little Murder give Uncle Clifford this look. And I was like, oh, 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 you know? You're like, okay, what's going on? What's going on, girl? What's going on, girl? And he says, oh, Uncle Clifford says, I got, we got light skin, we got white, we got red, we got brown, we got chocolate, we got everything you need. Right. Okay, we got and he says, oh, do it. Got everything I need. Look like it do. And right, he making Clifford, he making all of us blush at this point. Okay. And so Clifford sits down and was like, boy, you about to make me blush. You better go on. He said, what's your name, boy? And Murder was like, my name Lil Murder. And Clifford was like, oh, so you doing little murders as opposed to big murders? I, iconic. I'm telling you, iconic stuff. These are phrases that I use to this day, okay? To this day. Rapping in cursive, singing in cursive. Just, these are things that yes, right? Even saying all poetic and shit. Okay. When Autumn Night was trying to figure out what her name was, they were like, Autumn Night, oh, that's all poetic and shit, which I didn't think Autumn Night was poetic. But I guess that was kind of just like the running joke. But anyway, so I guess I guess some things happen in the champagne room that they say aren't supposed to happen. No sex in the champagne room, but I guess it did. So, and I think in that moment I was like, so let me talk about it real quick. Let me talk about it. I think in this moment, because I went back, right? I went back and I didn't watch anybody else's review, but I was looking at the number of YouTube reviewers on YouTubers who cover P Valley. P Valley brings people together to me. Okay. P Valley brings the straight dudes. P Valley brings the girls. P Valley brings the girls. P Valley unites all of us to me. It has something for everyone on this show. And I think that the reason why I love this show so much and why it's so dynamic to me is because the representation in terms of obviously sex workers and the life that they live, right? People living in a dilapidated city, living below the poverty line, really just trying to figure out ways to get out. That's there, but also the way that this beautiful love story. When I tell you this love story between Uncle Clifford and Murder, when I tell you I go up for this love story, the way they look at each other, the way they just was like this. I don't want to say it's going to cure the homophobia, But I will say that I think that it humanizes people a whole lot more. And because straight dudes are watching this show and heterosexual women, everybody is watching this show, I think it becomes something to talk about. I think it becomes something for people to really grapple with and question whether or not their beliefs, and maybe this is me being idealistic, right? Maybe I have an idealistic view of how P Valley shows up. But what I will say, baby, P Valley brings all the girls to the yard. It really does. It really does. The iconic writing and the way that you think things are going to go, and it doesn't go in the way that you think that it does. I love this show. Can't wait for season 3. Those are my final thoughts. I will be back next week with episode 2. Y'all, I cannot wait. I love this show.